Hello, Laura Donnelly here from Dancing with Ease, Body Brain Balance, and this is another uh, video from the Healing Path. Today I'm really excited to talk to my friend Rachel McCants again. She's from our Lindsay Unlimited, and we're going to talk about ways you can set up your day for success. Different ways people do to set up their day for success as part of a general self-care and healing path for yourself. So the healing path, if you haven't been here before, are conversations between me and people I know who are doing wonderful things to help people grow and change and find healing within themselves. Cover all modalities, all areas of work, but the main thing that brings us together here is the knowing that inside we have to make a shift, a choice, a decision for healing. We don't have to know exactly what we're going to do. We don't have to know exactly how it's going to look. We just know we are open to healing, and then we let that flow through and into our lives. Then the people show up, the doctors show up, the exercise programs show up, the whatever you need comes in once you open that door to healing. So I'll bring Rachel on to the studio here and let her tell you a little bit about herself. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, hello everyone. I am Rachel McCants with our Lindsay Unlimited, and I'm an author, speaker, and playwright. We're working on these plays. Christians hire me to ignite a dose of Jesus because most are too busy and too stressed to seek Him first, and I help them achieve growth in their relationship with Him while also becoming more productive through a morning routine. And it's all by His grace, bottom line. And this really all started because He healed me from a grade 3 brain tumor. And this is where all of our Lindsay Unlimited started.
It's such a powerful story, Rachel. And I put in the comments for people who didn't hear your original talk about that piece of your journey so they could go back and find that because that was, oh wow, let's try, life-changing.
Yes, very much so. Yes, but I would go ahead and just give like a little summary because how good God is. And I don't think you even have seen me with my hair straight because you always see it curly or with the twist out. But y'all, God blessed me to be bald twice. One of my brothers is a photographer, so he got this picture when it was starting to grow back a little bit.
Wow.
And he fully restored my hair growth. Like this is about how long it was, if not longer before, like a little longer, but he restored my hair to fully where it was. And it's just so amazing. He is amazing. But yeah, healed, completely healed.
Yes. Well, one of the things I really love about your story is how you said, well, I was always a Christian, but this tested me.
Mm-hmm.
And it tested my faith. It tested my daily choices, right?
Yes.
And from that, then you have created for yourself, which you now share with other people, a way to start your day every day that keeps you on this path. Would you share a little bit about that?
Yes, most definitely. I have really become accustomed to a morning routine. I know that many people have read The Miracle Morning and other morning routine books, and I incorporate a lot of those strategies. But my main difference in my strategy is starting with Jesus because I believe that He accomplishes all things. He does all things. He sets up all things. And so I have to have Him with me to get through my day. And if I do not start my day with Jesus, my day is through the floor. My attitude is through the floor, and things just don't go as smoothly. And it helps remember and digest his word because I use the Bible every morning during my devotion. I encourage people through my stories every morning through Facebook and Instagram with the devotionals I use, but I really do dive into my Bible as well. I have a study Bible with the commentary in it, and it just explains and breaks down the scriptures so well. But just holding on to that all day gives me peace for the day, and I'm able to accomplish more than I would on my own.
So when something comes up that's not working right,
Mhm.
how do you use this to recenter yourself and get back on track, shall we say?
Yes, most definitely. And that happens often. I am working on, because it's a continual practice, praying first. 1 Thessalonians 5:17, I think, because it's 16 through 18 are the set of verses that I like. But one of them, I think it's 17, says, pray without ceasing. And that's praying without stopping. And that is a hard habit to commit to, but I try to do it. And so when things are not going right, I do my best to stop, breathe, count to three, but no, really just pray and give it all to God. And I feel a lot better most of the time. A lot of times, because when I do get overwhelmed or anxious, it's because I have a lot going on or things that I feel like I'm not accomplishing that I should be accomplishing. And the morning routine gives me that because I have already accomplished so much in my day. One of my friends actually tells me, you really have done everything you're supposed to do before 9 o'clock. Because I get my workout in, I get my lemon water, which we just talked about because you're drinking your lemon water. I get my face washed, teeth brushed, and all the things, get makeup on, and just ready for the day. And I really have to prepare myself to spend time with Jesus, because I used to try to do that quiet time in the bed and I would fall back asleep. I have to really emphasize putting my feet on the floor and getting up out of the bed, washing my face, brushing my teeth, and spending time and having that quiet time. But yeah,
I
falling
had
back.
a friend, and she said that there's a military guy who says, get up and make your bed,
Mm,
and you have accomplished one thing today.
yes.
And from one thing, you can do the next thing and the
Mm,
next thing.
yes.
The thing I was hearing is like I have to put my feet on the ground. And
Mhm.
I think that that's a really important idea.
Yes.
I think sometimes we get in our idea in our head, like that we can meditate and we have to go somewhere and sit on a cushion and be airy fairy. We can pray, but we have to go to the church and it has to be quiet, um, and the work I do is about being right here, right now.
Mhm.
And I think different things bring people right into themselves in the moment. And then to not have an agenda, which I think is, when I have a problem and I've got to solve this, do I have to solve this?
Mm,
Or do I have to be present for the
mhm.
solution to appear? And if I hand this off and I say I'm clueless how to solve this problem, but I trust that there's a solution, and then Jesus can give it to us.
Mhm.
If we are in a place to listen, which is what I think that the morning routine that you describe creates, mm, receptivity, I think, an openness to hearing. And I think when you do this in the morning, and like your friend said, well, you've done everything you have to do for the day, but you create a foundation
Mhm.
of early success in the day that you can rely on later in the day,
Yes.
and the reminder to just come back. And what you said too, to you pause, take a deep breath, and this doesn't have to be a huge thing like a flat tire on a busy street. One time I ran out of gas.
Oh.
The only time I ever ran out of gas in my whole life, I was on a parkway which had no shoulders and 3 lanes, and there was like a median in the middle full of grass, and there were houses on the other side, and there were streets. But I mean, and I was going to the gas station. I was like 8 blocks from the gas station. And I'm going, and my car just quit moving. And it was rush hour.
Oh.
So I turn on my flashers and then amazingly, and I'm like, oh, I blew it this time, and 2 wonderful people showed up, stopped the traffic, shoved my car over to the side and onto a little side street, because thankfully there was a million little side streets.
Oh, blessing.
And so I'm out of the traffic. I'm able to call my car help people and say, your customer ran out of gas. and then I'm like, uh-oh, now am I going to be mad? Am I going to beat myself up? Am I going to look at my watch every 5 minutes? Where's this guy bringing me that 1 gallon of gas?
Yeah.
Am I going to hang out here? It was a beautiful neighborhood, really awesome houses. And then it was starting to be sunset. And this ability to be right there, to be thankful and grateful for the people who got me out of the middle of traffic.
Yes.
To be grateful for the other drivers who paused. They paused so we could push my car out of the way. I mean, that's a gift. That's being taken care of.
Yeah.
And whether you say, Jesus took care of me, the universe took care of me, God took care of me, all of these things took care of me, and these people were kind to me.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't. And that's what happened with me with the brain tumor. That lady coming down the garage right in the nick of time to ask me if I needed her to call someone for me, and she did. And I also drive part-time with Amazon Flex, and so I deliver a lot of packages. And sometimes it gets challenging when I go to apartments and trying to figure out the different apartments and how the layout of the different apartments is set up. And a lot of times I'm like, Jesus help, and like the package will pop up, or I'll find the apartments. And and I've had a flat tire doing Amazon Flex, and on one of the dirt roads, had to pull to the side, have my blinkers on as well, and so wait for the tow truck to get there to change my tire and stuff. So yes, I totally see you. I feel
and to this ability to, it's not, what I really love what you're saying is, it's not that we don't get upset.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that bad stuff doesn't happen.
Yep.
Big bad stuff, small bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can lose my favorite pen on my desk and have it, and like, I don't know, I can momentarily, I have, I'm an office product junkie. I must have 150 pens. But I want this one pen, this one pen. And I just had it. Did I really have to get upset? Just that little pause that gives me the space to say, well, just go get a glass of water. Probably you'll see it when you come back.
Yeah.
Because it's there. It's there. I just can't see it. And how much of our life is there? How many blessings are here?
Yes.
That we are so busy that we don't see.
Yep. That's so true.
So you have your EMDJ.
Yes. Good job.
And I had to think a minute.
Yes, I know. It takes a minute.
Well, and I like to say, well, you call it early morning
with a dose of Jesus.
With a dose of Jesus. And I think, like, start your day early morning with a dose of Jesus.
Yes.
And I've seen a couple of your stories and your Instagram pages where you share a passage, and your joy is just present. It's just present. And I love that you can share from your heart.
Mhm.
And and then to make a space. So what this is like an online space for people, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
they can tune
Yeah, I
in.
think so. Yeah, yes, ma'am. You are right on the target, just so you know. And so, I have a favorite pen too. I am a office product junkie as well. So I have like a pack of pens. One of my friends got me hooked on this pen, and we send these pens to each other as like gifts and stuff. So I love that pen. But that's just one of the many pens that I have. But yes, EMDJ, early mornings with a dose of Jesus. Great job, Laura. I appreciate that because it is really kind of hard to get the grasp of the name of EMDJ and know what it is. But yes, we gather every morning on Zoom at 6 a.m. Central Standard Timing, and they get on and their camera is off and my picture is just up, which thank you so much for the compliment that you just gave me. That's my favorite. I get a little emotional about it every time. Thank you. That's like my favorite compliment. That's like the biggest blessing of a compliment that I could ever hear, that you see God's light through me when I share what I share. And that is the whole purpose of any and everything that I do. But that is EMDJ. So we get on, they see my face, and I tell them, good morning, it's 6 a.m. And I really feel like that's their favorite part because any EMDJer that I talk to outside of EMDJ, that is what they tell me when we get on the phone or on another Zoom call or whatever. They're like, it's 6 a.m. So it's really fun. And then I give them an encouragement or a story, affirmation, verse or verses, because I like them to go and get in the word for themselves and discover that and feel God's presence for themselves. And then a song to carry out throughout the day to give them peace, to give them energy, whatever they need it for. And then I tell them every day, have a productive day in Jesus' name. And so, yeah, that's the flow of EMDJ. And since we're talking about it, I don't want to forget to mention that I am streaming it live through Instagram the first week. So on Monday through Friday, I will be streaming live EMDJ for the public to see if they haven't signed up. Or whatnot, just so you can get a real insight and see it for yourself. Nobody really communicates back. We communicate as a community on Fridays. We call it Friendly Friday. And I'm also going to start doing a free Friendly Friday. It's already free to do it, but now I'm going to start advertising as free Friendly Friday. If you want to come and join for one time so you can actually experience it for yourself, clicking in and joining the meeting on Zoom, and even stay on after, because Friendly Friday, we keep each other accountable for one goal each session, and the sessions are 3 months to help us create the habit of making this an ongoing process in our life, because it takes accountability to get started. And EMDJ gives you accountability to wake up early. And sometimes an alarm is not enough. EMDJ gives you somewhere to be. And so, a lot of my EMDJers also say, Rachel's waiting on me. Let me get up and get on this call. Yeah, that's your accountability. So you're up early. You start with Jesus, and that accountability starting with Jesus just automatically 3 makes you more productive. It makes your day go smoother, which helps us with success, helps us get our to-do lists done. And I really believe that EMDJ is a great start to everyone's morning. And when I help other people with morning routines, I often say that, I advocate for Jesus because I definitely believe a quiet time with Jesus is necessary. But if you're just doing a quiet time, do a quiet time yourself. I believe everyone needs that structure every morning to just have yourself grounded before you head off into your day.
I think it really helps. And And it also helps, like, if you happen to be a person who, like, as soon as your eyes open, that list
Mm-hmm.
pops up in front of your head. And if you can just say, okay, I got the list. I'm going to take time for me first.
Yes.
And when you do that, the joy, that it's like nourishing. It's like self-nourishing. And you have when you start like that, you have a little bubbling joy all the time
Yes.
to deal with the frustrations of living. I mean, honest to John, there's a million frustrations. And we were talking about the weather.
Yes.
We're wearing our scarves. It's cold.
It
Um,
is cold.
and and I'm in the house. I'm wearing my vest in the house because I got my heater on, but
Yep. It's just
I'm wearing
cold.
my vest. Okay, now can I do anything about the weather? No. I can put on the scarf. I can put on the vest. I can dress warmly, and I can be okay that I can't
Mhm.
control the weather.
Yeah.
But I could make myself really unhappy.
Mhm.
It's a choice. It's like I could think of that list and think, "Oh man, I don't want to do this stuff," and hit the snooze button on my alarm.
Yeah.
And then when I start my day, I'm 2 steps behind
Mhm.
because what I was going to do when I first woke up, that wasn't something that was nourishing. That was just hitting the ground and hitting the list.
Mhm.
And so I didn't want to do that. And then I put myself further behind.
Mhm.
So like you said, this is a practice of taking care of giving ourselves mental space and physical space
Yeah.
to create the order and flow for our day that will nourish us and help us to share the joy of living with everybody we meet.
Yes. I love that. I love that breakdown too of being behind. I definitely used to be that way. I used to wake up and try to figure out what I'm going to wear. And then I'm looking at clothes strolled across the floor and I'm like, wait, is that even clean? Can I put that on? Like, what is the first thing I can grab so I can get on and get out the door to work? Now it's so much better just waking up early and just having a morning routine to, like you said, have that foundation for my day.
Well, I'm just super happy that you could come and share this today. And ah, website. Darn, I forgot what I was doing. I was so excited talking to you.
Oh, wait, what happened?
I forgot to put the website up. I have your website.
Oh, yes, www.rlindsayunlimited.com. Yes. And I like
Yes.
that you can see it so I don't have to say AY, not EY, but I'll still say it. There we go.
Right. And so on your site, that's where people can find out information to sign up.
Yes.
And in the description of the video is the links to find you on Instagram and Facebook and everything. And I want to encourage people, if you have questions or comments and you want to write them in the post, please do, because Rachel and I will get back to you
Yes. Yes, we
and
will.
say, hey, how are you? Happy to meet you. What is your morning routine? Do
Mhm.
you have something that you do every day
Yeah.
before you start your day that brings you peace and calmness and joy? Um, I have to admit, I do have lemon water, but one of my things is a cup of coffee. And I love to write
Mhm.
while I'm having my coffee. And so it sounds like in the work that you create, there's space for people to do their own reflection, their own uh, forecasting into the day. And you know what I love too is the thing that you said, to have a kind of an overarching idea for 3 months that you're going to put the energy into.
Yes.
And what you said is true, is that when a group of people, well, that I always am saying this, when 2 or 3 are gathered together,
Yes.
it magnifies the
Yes.
intention,
Mhm.
and it helps to, um, to share each other's wins and to encourage each other when, like you got caught up in the week, or maybe you had kids and they got sick and you're like, I didn't even think of my goal for the whole week. Well, that's
Yeah.
okay, because we got a lot more weeks left.
Yes, we do. Hey, 2022, first week.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the sign up is on the website. And again, if you guys who are watching have ideas and uh, other wonderful things that you share in your morning, um, please share those with us.
Yes, please do. I would love to hear about other people's morning routines. I do want to say, though, in my devotion, so I say what I do in my morning routine, but there are breakdowns to the things that I do in my morning routine. So in my devotion, I do journaling so I can get those thoughts, like you mentioned, Laura, out of my head. And I feel the Holy Spirit and He speaks to me in the morning. And so what I feel the Lord tell me, I kind of journal that, and like you said, prepare myself for the day. And then that's when I do my devotionals, the devotionals that I share on my stories in the morning and encourage others with. And each devotional comes with verses, and that's when I open my study Bible and I read those verses again, and I read the commentary to get the breakdown, just kind of like meditate on that to give me the peace to carry me through the day. And then I head into EMDJ. Well, I pray and read some other verses, and I pray and do my makeup and get all the way ready and do EMDJ, and then I do my stories, and yeah.
So actually and truly, you're up at 5. 3?
Yes, I wake up at 3 so I can get poured into before I pour into others or pour out for others, because I can't pour out of an empty container, like you can't pour anything out of an empty container. So I have to make sure I'm completely full before I can pour out and encourage others. And so I want to make sure that I do that and make that a habit as well.
And that is so true. And I think it's one of the things people forget is they get busy, they get giving, they get doing, and they forget to take that time to pause and replenish.
Yeah, and it's self-care. You mentioned that, but it is definitely a version of self-care. And it's been a self-care. There's something else I was going to say. Darn it. What was it? It's a version of self-care. It's going to make me sad. Okay, I don't know what it was, but
Or you can come back and write it in the comments.
there we go. If I remember what it is, I can write it in the comments. Yes, thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
But what I just really don't know what it was, because it is a form of self-care. I have to practice what I teach. I cannot encourage and inspire some people in what I am not doing myself. So everything I share with others, I am definitely doing myself, and I do my best to walk the walk and talk the talk, and not just talk the talk.
That is so good. That is the heart of my work also, is
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is.
to do the work first and then share the work.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you again for sharing your gifts and your talent and your joy. And hopefully we'll see you again before too long.
Sounds good. I always tell you, or often tell you when we talk, that I love the juxtaposition of our personalities and how you are so peace in, one one layer, or even tempered, should I say? And I'm like, hey, 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 hey. That's why I wake people up and you calm them down.
That's it. So take good care and have a wonderful day, Rachel.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Uh-huh. Take care.
You too.